Hello, join us. We are going to listen to statements of Venezuelan ambassador to the United Nations, Samuel Moncada, on the recent U.S. aggressions. Let's listen.
Yesterday, October 14th of 2025, the government of the United States of America committed a new series of executions outside of the law against civilians who were on a small ship in a situation of station in the Caribbean Sea, few miles from the Venezuelan coast. Recent information that are in public domain and communication identified two humble fishermen of Trinitarian nationality from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Among the victims, her family members affirmed that those murdered were fishing. This act is one more chapter in the escalade of bombardings from the U.S. that have been happening since September till this day against civilian ships that are sailing in Caribbean Sea waters. It have been 5 lethal attacks and 27 people who have died. We have to emphasize on the subject that some of the victims have been recognized by their families and their governments as nationals of Colombia and of Trinidad, and this fact is emphasized because it also indicates that it affects the whole region. It's not just a Venezuelan subject. We are saying it because the threats are going against us, but the victims are also from other countries. The recent attacks in the Caribbean Sea, they find a point of maximum tension for the peace and stability of Venezuela by observing in the recent declarations of the President Trump that reveals that the government of the United States is considering to launch attacks on land, which would be clearly contrary to the disposition of Article 2.4 of the UN Charter related to the extension of the use of force. To this alarming decision should be added the recent of the White House, according to which the government of the United States secretly authorized the CIA to carry out undercover actions in Venezuela. The new authorization would allow the CIA to carry out lethal operations in Venezuela and have operations in the Caribbean Sea, in Latin America and the Caribbean. Just like in other regions of the world, it is widely known the dark history of the CIA in undercover operations to sabotage and go against governments and killing presidents with the objective of installing political systems that serve the interest of the United States. It is about a great operation of warmongering propaganda, and it is an operation and a military escalade with great military equipments that are coming closer to Venezuela, and a clandestine movement of intelligence with a license to kill, with the purpose of imposing a coup d'etat in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. With all of this information, we asked the Security Council to investigate the assassinations that the government of the United States have been doing in our region and determine its illegal character. Second, to confirm the threat that these illicit actions represent for the preservation of the peace in Latin America and the Caribbean, among them the extrajudicial executions, the concentration of military force, the warmongering actions against Venezuela, and the clandestine operations of the CIA to commit political assassinations. And then the third, to emit a pronouncing in which it reaffirms the principle of the respect to the sovereignty, independence, and the territorial integrity of Venezuela as an indispensable piece to preserve peace. That is in Spanish. I will also read it in English.
We were listening to statements of the Venezuela's ambassador in the United Nations, Samuel Moncada, who denounced the recent U.S. aggressions he called extrajudicial killings in international waters against the civilians, against the fishermen, without due process, a situation that is putting at risk not just Venezuela, but also the whole region of Latin America and the Caribbean. This is all for the moment. Stay tuned with teleSUR English for more information on this topic.